Good morning. We are in the San Bernardino Mountains. It is the middle of June, and I'm going to spend the week up here doing some camping and doing some fishing and some exploring. Drove here yesterday afternoon and got a great little campsite. So here's my walking down my driveway for the week. It's really quiet and peaceful up here right now. It might be a different story on the weekend, but I'm gonna stay through Friday and see what the fishing's like up here on the Santa Ana River, on the upper section of the Santa Ana River, and maybe the South Fork of the Santa Ana River. We'll play it by ear a little bit. But here's my campsite, and you can see it's an awesome little campsite. There's a handful of other campers out here, but I'm in a nice, really secluded spot. It was super quiet last night, super calm, really nice. So this is a great little campsite. And I'm gonna post up here for the week. Since this is such a nice little spot, I'm probably gonna stay here all week unless somebody parks right next to me or something. So we are just getting going here. We're ready to get in the truck and drive down to the river and see what the fishing is like. So I'll check back in a little bit once we're down on the river ready to do some fishing. Well, unfortunately, we didn't get very far with our first spot. This road is closed. This forest road is called 1N45. And this road looks like it's been pretty well washed out. There was a hurricane that came through this area last August, so almost a year ago, and a big flood tore through this part. So they just haven't put this road back together again. They had just repaired this road. It had been closed several years before, and they had just opened it up. And I was actually camping up here the day that the hurricane hit, and I left that day when it had started raining. Luckily, I didn't know it was a hurricane. I thought it was going to rain. Torrential rain, and all the water just funnels down through this canyon. So this road gets closed frequently. So we'll see what we can do next. We're going to go down further downstream. There's a road called Glass Road. We're going to go down Glass Road and see how far upstream we can get from that way. This road goes to Glass Road, so we'll see if it's closed the whole way. The website, the San Bernardino National Forest website, didn't mention that this road was closed, so kind of disappointing, but we'll have to improvise. All right, well, here we are. We're down a few miles from where I just was. You see the bridge is washed out there. So that hurricane really wreaked some havoc. There had just been a big fire up in this area a couple years ago. So a lot of this dead debris and ash got washed down. This doesn't look great for fishing. I might just head downstream. The water quality is good. See, the water's real clear, and there's a good amount of it. Upstream, let's see how far I can get. All right, well, we came to another road closed sign, and we're gonna walk up a little ways to see how the river looks. the river down there didn't look good for fishing because the river's really shallow and fish aren't going to be aren't just going to be hanging out in the sun. So we're going to walk upstream a little bit to see if it's worth gearing up for and fishing. This is a section that I've had luck on before, but we'll see what it looks like. There's just so much debris that came down here. And this debris was dead debris, probably from the fire that burned in this area a few years ago. And that debris just decimated this whole canyon, at least the river part of it. So we're just gonna walk upstream a little bit. It's a nice, cool day. It's nice and shady, but I think I'll scout it out a little bit first before I put forth the effort to gear up. Check that out. This is a little camp here on the stream. And look at that. Boy, that must have just been raging. Look at those trees. I don't know if you could tell, but the light is actually on that building. That's crazy. Must have just been raging. I mean, you kind of got to wonder whether they'll ever open this road up again, because they had just repaired it and put it back together a few years ago. It had only probably been open for 2 or 3 years, and it's been almost a year now since the storm, and they haven't really done anything. Every 100 yards or so you get trees like this are down, and this river canyon is just like this the whole way. I'll probably head downstream because the creek is probably going to be like this the whole way, and this is not great for fishing. There's just no pools for the trout to hunker down in. This is kind of a shame if this road never gets rebuilt. It's just a great little road that runs next to the river. You can just park, get out, do some fly fishing on the stream. Stream's looking nice. I mean, it's beckoning, but I just don't think there's gonna be any fish in there. There's nowhere for them to seek refuge. Trout like to seek refuge from the sun and the exposure, so they like overhanging brush, they like deep pools, and I don't really see any of that with this storm damage. It's kind of just a boulder strewn stream right now. So we'll backtrack, do a little more scouting, continue to play it by ear. It's cool to be up here nonetheless to see this storm damage. I was wondering what it looked like, and yeah, it really blew it all out. we're downstream a little ways. We're along Seven Oaks Road now, the paved road that goes by the campground. You see all these boulders. These were all washed downstream and just chomping away whatever came in its way. I mean, this was all forest before, or maybe more brush. There are down trees, but there's not as many. Seems like most of the down trees were deposited further upstream. I don't know, it's starting to look a little better. I don't think I'm gonna fish this area either. I'm gonna continue driving down. Interesting to see nonetheless. Well, the Seven Oaks campground was closed back there. The village is still there, but it's just there's no more forest around. This is the resort close to the intersection with Seven Oaks Road. And if you're familiar with this area, you know that this was all a forest. You couldn't see this place from the road. Now it's just wide open. So it's just really startling at the damage that was done. It just looks totally different. I mean, this was thick forest leading up to that place, and now it's just nothing. So it's gonna take, I don't know, who knows how many years it's gonna take. That was some kind of flood that happened through here. It's obvious that that hadn't happened in a lot of years because of the thick forest that was growing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this place in the coming years. Here's the intersection with the road that goes to Bear Creek, and thankfully that looks open. Right now we're gonna check out downstream of all this. Wow, look at all this. Those were structures. Here's the bridge. Wow. All right, well, here we are. We're down here, just below the bridge that I was just at. And this car behind me, I just ran into this angler, and he says that there's fish out here. So I'm gonna have at it and see what's doing. The sun is a little fierce. Luckily, it's not too warm, and there's a nice cool breeze. But I'm not gonna bother putting my boots on or anything. This stretch probably isn't gonna be very long anyways. I'm just gonna throw in real quick and see what happens. All right, here we are. We're geared up here, ready to throw in, see what's doing. Fishing with my 7.5 foot 2-weight rod, 5X line, and I have this little dry dropper combo. Here's the dry, can't really see it, and a little bead head. See how this works. All right, we're gonna go out here to try to fish this little pocket. I ended up putting my boots on, boots and shorts. The water's cold, but it feels kind of good. Can't really see my fly. But this is nice soft water right here. Got him. That was one. I think you saw him. What happened? Snapped my line off. All right, I'm gonna try to go out to the same spot again. That fish probably still has that hook in his mouth. Maybe I can get those 2 flies back by catching him. I'm fishing with just a dry fly now. It's a little pink stimulator pattern. Can't get my damn net. There we go. Let you recover a little bit, little fella. Nice little rainbow. Alright, the flies out. This guy looks like a little stalker, but nice little fish. Back you go. Well, that was a decent little fish. Had a hard time getting it in the net, or I had a hard time getting my net unhooked off of my backpack. It was way up high and just had all kinds of problems. But now I've adjusted. I've got my net down here on my hip, so it should be easier. And hopefully the next one goes smoother. All right, I'm gonna try to fish this little pocket right here. Just this little soft spot. Oh, I got one. How did I get you, little buddy? Well, that turned out to be a pleasant afternoon on the river. Unexpected, caught 2 fish, 2 rainbows. Both looked like they were stocked rainbows. The second one was kind of listless. Didn't seem to have much life in him. But the first one was a nice little fish. And although I prefer to catch wild fish over stockers, I'll take it. It was fun. And it was nice to be out on the river. We'll see how long it takes for this, for the river to restore itself. All right, that'll do it for this afternoon. Signing off from the Upper Santa Ana River.